Okay, I'm really here in heaven on Maui, and we need to empower the feminine. Behind me, I'm sorry, this lighting is a little funny, there you go, are some of the most feminine mountains in the whole world. They rise up like, labia, clitorises, and they fall into deep crevices of waterfalls. And those mountains over there, even though this is a dry day, are some of the wettest mountains in the world. So how do you empower the feminine when we are completely reverse trained? So let me give you some examples, because you need to empower not only the women around you, the young women, the older women, the feminine values that will change the world, but you need to start empowering the feminine within you. And to understand what that is really important. How to? So a man will typically, when he thinks, I'm going to be a feminist, he will marry a woman who's very, very masculine, who is very mental, very logically driven, who doesn't feel too much, who's very materialistic and financially strong. And he will say, see, I support the feminine. I'm going to give her the purse strings, and I'm going to let her be the one that earns most of the money, and I'll support her in her career. And all well and good, because we know on the very first level of evolution is we can't have a caste system, we can't have racism, we can't assume that anyone is less human because they're of their gender, and we have to make sure there's equal rights. Okay, all well and good. But the problem is, what the man is actually doing is he is supporting the masculine once again. He's putting his faith in the masculine, because the feminine and masculine are not a gender thing. They are a balance around us and within us. So this person he's married is actually really, really completely devoted to her masculine, and she doesn't like even to feel. She doesn't like to be spiritual or believe in magic or the unknown. So how do you get it? So here's a good example. Imagine that man, that in that situation, so we feel safe if we give money to the one who's very linear, who's very in control of finances and materially, that's their priority in life, is money and power. That's the masculine side of us. But imagine giving money to the magical free child in us. Imagine giving money to the one who's heart open and expanded and playful. That's our feminine side. Well, it's like, no, I'm not going to give money to that person, because then they'll give the money away. They will go take yoga classes, they'll take dance classes, they'll buy things that are just about adventures and vacations and beingness and have nothing to do with doing this or accumulating wealth. True enough. This is true. If the feminine side of you is allowed to have power in the situation and take care of the money, she will need to be a little tempered by your masculine side, who also says, hey, we need to make sure we've got enough of the bills, and we need to be building a little nest egg, for the future. But a little nest egg is different than a whole life that's all about savings, where there is no joy. So the feminine will say things like, in you, she'll be like, I just want to paint our whole apartment new colors. And you'll be like, yeah, but it's already a good color. That's a waste of money. No, for her, it's beingness. It's joy and passion. If you want to empower the feminine, you gotta empower her in yourself and beside you right now. It's gotta be okay that the magical, loving, juicy, sensual part of you is allowed funds, the grounded funds for empowerment. So it all, that's what people don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about money and the balance of power. But it all comes down to who's got the power, because the feminine is going to do things like share the groceries with a stranger and just say, hey, let's have a big feast for some friends to come over. She's going to do things that are not about taking, that they're about giving. And the thing is, as she gives and gives, and you make it okay that I can be that I can be that expanded, I can be that juicy, I can trust that I can buy this present for somebody out of nowhere, I can tithe, and I can send money to charity, and I will survive. These are the ways the feminine thinks. And what she does is she puts, like, she doesn't have much money or much food, but a stranger comes and she's like, hey, let's pool our, you give me your carrot, I'll give you my onion, let's put them in the water. And pretty soon another friend's, hey, you got a potato. They're making a big soup and everybody's eating. Where our masculine side is like, I only have a few vegetables right now. I got to scrimp by for the month. And sorry guys, but I can't come over. Can't you guys just please take better care of yourselves so we don't have to think about these things? The masculine side of us will be very blaming and shaming to ourselves about what we don't have together. And the adventure will end right there. The adventure will not be an adventure, because it'll all be about safety and hoarding for oneself. The thing is, the world right now, there's so many people who are falling through cracks and feeling ashamed about it. And the adventure of welcome, the tradition of welcome, is one that we in our masculine have never been trained in, because it's the feminine who knows about welcome. I remember in Mexico being invited, ending up in a situation in a storm where I had to ask some family what to do, what would they suggest, and they said, oh, you should stay with us in this storm. And in the morning and the evening, they fed me like a queen, and I saw that their cupboards were meager, but the way they made me feel was like food was endless and abundant, and they would cherish the opportunity to share together. And I learned so much from them. I learned that their food was sure enough expanding and expanding for whoever came, however, and there was a flow between people. There was an honesty. Hey, I don't have much, but we could do this, we could do that. And there was an openness about welcome, like the privilege of welcome, right? So who are you able to welcome today? Who are you able to feed today in an abundant way that makes no sense? What gift, like yoga classes, could you give yourself or give to the woman you love? What way can you do something spontaneous and completely not allowed by your rational self? Okay, I'm here in Maui because I had to fight through my masculine rationality for maybe 10 years or more, wanting to come here. 10 years of praying to, myself, my soul longing for a deeper adventure where nature would resonate with what I believe and who I am. And my rational mind was so ingrained. My masculine side made me feel so bad about that wish. Would make me feel so, immature and selfish. But it's the opposite, love. As soon as you start to support your feminine side, you become generous on endless levels that have nothing to do with your finances. They have to do with the generosity of your joy. So go ahead and start empowering that feminine voice in you, okay? Please, maybe write down some of the secret wishes of your soul that she is whispering to you night and morning as you fall asleep. That broken-hearted feeling is actually the calling of the feminine in you and around you, longing for you. The mother wants to bring you home where you resonate. Where on the planet do you resonate? Where in your life are there opportunities and talents that you have that for no reason at all bring you great joy, and great momentum towards more joy. You know, there's this thought, well, I love to sing, but I'm a lousy singer, so I shouldn't offend people's ears, and I'll never be professional. The professional thing, even how good or bad you sound, has nothing to do with the joy of singing. Singing is a way of praying. Singing is a way of harmonizing with love, right? And that's all it needs to be. Anything that you love to do or be or have, all it needs to be from your feminine side is joy. Joy resonating in you. Remember what the Buddha said. The Buddha said, what you think about, you become. What you feel regularly, you attract. And what you imagine, you create. And that creatress is your feminine side, the one who will think all new thoughts, who's not on a straight line. She's in a circle, she's in an orb, she's expanded and contracted all at once, she's got chaos working on her side. Because she's not going to cause havoc, she's going to cause the breaking open of the heart that allows your adventure of self-love to begin. Okay, much love and joy to you, and new miracles being allowed by truly empowering the feminine in you, as you, around you.